Hello? How did you get this number? Don't you know he's listening? The 13. He's here.
You have entered the 13, a place where real stories about music, touring, and the beyond are told. Music does something to us. We all experience it in our own way. It can affect our senses, transport us through time, and release emotions. On this podcast, we will talk with people about the power of music and the beyond. What does the beyond mean? Let's find out together. Turn on your metronomes because this time is about to be tracked. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the 13. I'm your host, Ryan 13, and today we are joined with Rob Past Hell from Six Past Hell, or Rob Alexander, whatever name you want to call him. I've known this guy for like 20 fucking years. He's one of my greatest friends. We've been talking here before the show started, and it's like we didn't miss a beat. Rob, welcome to the show.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'll tell you what, real quick.
Yeah.
I love what you're doing, man.
Oh,
I've been
thank you,
watching. I've been watching all of it, and it's what's great about it is the fact that I know almost everybody, and we've had a music history and a friendship. So, like the stories that they're telling is like, wow, I was there. We lived, so.
Dude, that's great. This is what I wanted to do. I originally just wanted to do this with my friends. Like it was just going to be me and the guys in Razor 13. I was going to do it on the other YouTube page,
right?
And just do a Zoom or a Zoom podcast like thing. And my buddy from Expanding Reality, Brandon Thomas. Hey Brandon. Hey, Expanding Reality. Y'all go check out. Yeah, y'all go check. Yeah, you know Brandon. Yeah, he's got this great podcast over there, and if you go check his stuff out, he would love it and I would love it. But anyway, the Brandon said, why don't you just do a full-on podcast? Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, maybe. And then now it's morphed into that, which is
Dude,
great.
I love it. Yeah, it's awesome, man.
So for everybody out there, Rob plays drums in a band called Six Past Hell. He has various other projects. But Rob, for the people who don't know you, would you like to tell them a little bit about yourself?
Well, it's just pretty simple. Drummer for Six Past Hell, and toured a lot, met a lot of friends, been very fortunate to do what a lot of people can't do, as far as being in a band and not signed by a label, but touring like you're signed by a label on buses.
Right.
Which you did as well.
Yeah, with you.
Yes.
Yeah,
What
2005? 06. Yeah, it was 06. It was April 06.
Was it April?
Yeah, it was April of 06. And dude, so literally right before we started this podcast, my mother sent me a photo of something she found in the drawer. And this is taken outside of y'all's house. And it's actually like it's the tour
Katie?
Razor. And Katie. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna share the screen for a second just because it's easier. Share screen. You see this?
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it's with Six Past Hell. It's the whole. It's that whole tour.
Yeah, we did a good job, man.
Yeah, and Acadia. Man, I forgot that's how we ended that. Yeah. I think we skipped the Oklahoma one.
Yeah, we didn't do Oklahoma.
We were like coming back. It took us a long time to come back from LA or whatever.
Oh, we had issues with the bus.
The bus was breaking down every 5 seconds. There's exhaust coming in.
Do you remember Mike was sick?
Yes.
For about 2 days.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I don't want us to get sick because we got like a bunch of shows left after. Yeah. And so I just started cleaning the bus, man. Remember, I took bleach and I scrubbed every inch of that fucking thing. Dude.
Yeah, this is pre-COVID days too.
None of us got sick.
That's true. None of us got sick. That dude, Mike, yeah, poor guy. He was sick and when we parked outside of the gig, or we parked the bus, and we were there for like a day before. You and Scott and some other people went out to the Sunset. Strip Yeah, went out to
Yep.
the strip and hung out. I had a buddy come to the bus and hang out with us. Mike was in his bunk the whole time, sick.
Yeah.
And sometime during that one of those nights, and Mike, I don't hate me for telling the story, but you don't shit on a tour bus, right? And if you have to,
No.
you shit in a bag or something and throw it away.
No heat on the bus.
Right, no heat on the bus. And anyway, Mike couldn't get into the club because it was after hours, and he had to go.
I remember.
So
Yeah.
he shit on the bus.
Yeah. Yes. We came back and we were like, really, man?
Yeah, it
Gave him a
happened.
hard- you know what? We gave him a hard time about it, but
Yeah, you have to.
at the time, we get it.
Yeah, dude, you got it. You got it. When you gotta go,
You're
you
human.
know. Yeah, I think he even tried. He even went behind the club and was like, "Okay, I'm gonna just shit by
Yeah.
this dumpster."
Yeah.
And I mean,
That
that's
was
not
a-
possible.
Yeah, that's the story he told me. I tried to go behind the club, man. It just wouldn't work.
It just
Oh.
wasn't working. I
No.
get it.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, and you had talked to Scott about and Mike when I watched that podcast, and the whole issue with the screen. When the screen came up and or the curtain.
Oh yeah.
And I was on stage left.
Okay.
Watching
Yeah, you were on the stage. Okay, cool.
and it was just silent.
Yeah, it sucked.
Silent. With hands raised up and ready to rock and roll. And
Yeah, so
Uh-oh.
everybody who
Uh-oh.
hasn't listened to Scott's episode, what we're referring to is we played the gig in LA, Razor 13 and 6 Past Hell, and when Razor 13 came out, the announcer had we had a curtain and everything, and the curtain's going up.
it was like from Houston, Texas. Yeah, it was like a build up. And
It sounded great from Houston, Texas. Razor 13, and there's all this smoke
Crickets.
and all this stuff, and then I think me and J-Rab made some noise, but
Yeah,
there was
well,
no guitar.
He did a roll off. He did a roll off in the cymbals.
Yeah, it was like bong. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Hey, you know what? That's rock and roll. It happens.
Still got the
Oh,
old stripper bass sitting
yeah.
right here, ready to go.
Wow, man. Yeah, all my gear is at Zach's house.
Oh, okay. Where's Zach? Well, you don't have to tell me. You tell me later. But is he in Texas still, or
Oh yeah,
didn't he go to Arkansas or something for a while?
Little Rock, I think.
Little Rock. Okay.
I think when we were doing the reunion show.
Yeah.
This was a long issue of phone calls back and forth because it was like text messages, emails of when is 6 Past Hell going to come play again? When is we got to have and even the year before that, it was, man, we'd love to hear you guys again. What's going on? And we, like I said, we never broke up.
Right.
Never. It was just life went this way and that way. And
That's how I feel about Razor 13. Yeah.
exactly. Y'all never really broke up.
Yeah.
So, and it was just me on my phone, my brother. Dude, you know what? We really need to put a big show together and build a show. And it was within a month or so. Everybody was on the same page. And Zach was like, all right, dude, I'm doing this. We're recording this, and I'm coming down doing bass tracks. And here we are. I'm moving back. That's how simple it was.
Wow.
And yeah, totally, man. And he did.
Dude, that's awesome.
The show was killed. Like I said, I wish you were there, dude.
Me too, dude.
It was cool.
I hate that I work so much. That this is my way of reconnecting with all my friends, because my job, I don't know. It's there's a lot to it.
I hear
and
you.
I have to travel all the time and whatever.
Well, you were on that a long time ago when you were working for that job. You first got on, and how much traveling you're doing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was supposed to.
Never home.
Yeah, the whole thing was I was supposed to. So, for everybody, I was doing the band thing, and then I thought I was 28. I came home from Europe with King's X. We did a tour, and it was 2011. It was the day Osama bin Laden died. I remember because we were all talking about it in Bush Intercontinental Airport. And I had 60 euro in my pocket, and we were gone for a month. So that's how much money I brought home. And I had this girl turned out to be my wife.
Right.
And
Right.
but at the time, I was like, man, I really love this chick, and she says, keep keep doing you. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I'd also been with a lot of other girls who had left because I was touring constantly and never home.
I remember all of them.
Yeah. And
Because
so
I ended up hanging out with all of them.
that's right. And so it turned into this thing where I don't know, 28 years old. It's like, okay, I need to figure something out. So I cut all my hair off, which I'm still trying to regrow. And, I joined oil and gas stuff and started this because I thought, okay, I'm going to be home more and I'm going to have money. Well, I got more money than 60 euro but now I'm traveling constantly, so
you do the reverse. You do the reverse. Yeah, I remember I think we did, you called me, I think it was like this was around 2012, and I was laying in my bed, and I got this phone call, but it was a FaceTime.
Okay, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Maybe.
You don't remember that?
I don't know. Let's talk about it, and we'll see if I do.
Like 11 or 12 at night.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I don't.
Watching something. I think it was Rules of Engagement. I was watching, laughing my ass off, and I got this phone call. It's like FaceTime, and it was you. You're like, hey, dude, don't be mad at me because I cut all my hair off, and because you had the,
Yeah,
we talked for like an hour.
Yeah.
We talked like an hour. He's like, I've been drinking all night, but I just wanted to call you. And it was great, man. And I'm like, wow, you don't feel bad because I hadn't had anything to drink all day. So within that phone call, I got up so I could go to my refrigerator. So I was trying to drink enough to keep up with you to make you feel better. Hey, you're a little bit lit, so I think I need to be. So we talked for like an hour and a half.
Come with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I felt when I got my haircut, this is the first time my wife ever saw me upset. She went with me. She wasn't my wife then. We were just dating still, but I cut all my hair off. And after the session was done and I was no longer in the the salon or whatever, we went to the truck. I sat at the truck, I looked at the steering wheel, and I punched it.
Really
hard. And she was like, she had never seen me act like that or be mad or anything. And she's like, what's up? I was like, this is a fucking mistake. And I've been paying for it ever since. So I grew my hair out since 2019, but it was the Phil and Samo mohawk thing.
Yeah.
And then so now I'm trying to grow out the sides, which is gray apparently. So I can grow the whole thing out. Yeah, that's all right. It's just so I got it. Now I'm paying my dues to the hair gods again. And I'm I'm fucking 40 years old almost. And I got to, you just have to pay your dues. And then eventually it'll look great again.
And when you're kind to the hair gods, they'll be kind to you. Like we talked before, I turned 50 on the 27th of this month. And
all the hair. And it's not gray.
No, hair. That's not that.
I got a little hair too.
Well, the gray started. It started in it's weird. It was all red. You remember?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Started graying in just this part. Gonna have a long beard.
Yeah, that's right.
People
I remember that.
They thought I bleached it that way. It's like, nope.
That's just how it came in.
That's how it came in. And then it just spread.
Right. Yeah. I've got little tiny ones coming in. Excuse me. I got little tiny ones coming in, and it won't be. I mean, I can't grow a real beard to save my life, but
yeah, you complained about that on the road a lot.
Look at that chin beard from back then. The same one I got now. There ain't no hair there.
See, that's what makes you have that, like Doug said, you have that face, that movie star face. It's always young. It's always gonna. You know what? Embrace it.
It's the lights.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the lights. I like it.
Right. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry. Yeah, we're all gonna get old at some point and just.
Yeah.
But you know what? The young rock and roll heart, man.
Absolutely, all the time. Hey, speaking of rock and roll, I know we kind of went off on a little tangent there, but like speaking of rock and roll, your brother and me kind of talked that you guys have a show coming up, or maybe a couple of shows coming up kind of soon.
Well, we're in discussion about putting in together another big Six Pastel show.
Okay.
And talk to J-Rab about it back and forth, and he's okay. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and just manage the whole thing as far as the lighting and sound. So
okay, great.
and, if he's involved, it's gonna sound good.
That's what I hear. I gotta watch.
I love
like
J-Rab.
old J-Rab, dude. Yeah, he's great. I don't think I've ever seen him run sound though, or heard him run sound. So
Really?
like the thing, yeah, like not, or at least not that I remember. But
Yeah, right.
but he he's been running sound. He's been doing this stuff for a while. He keeps getting gigs running more and more, doing more and more sound stuff, doing managing things and whatever.
Major bands too.
Yeah.
Major country bands, man.
Absolutely. What was that?
I was with him sitting at this place in Kemah called Okies, man, just having some beer a few months ago. And he was telling me everything. And yeah, man, we had a good time. We had a lot. We had a lot, man. And we just scored, he talked about all the country stuff he's doing. It was really cool, man. And that's what kind of brought up some of the things about what we want to happen with the show we want to put on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, yeah, I'm stoked. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Razor 13, we were going to do one in 2020, but 2020.
I remember.
Happened. And I think I maybe had talked to you, but I know I talked to Scott, but I was like, we like Six Past Hell has to play with us at this show.
Of course.
It's gotta be the whole thing. Let's try to get Marzi. Let's get Six Past Hell. Let's get the whole group back together. And
yeah, I would love that.
And pandemic happened. So it's still open. It's still there. Like we could do it.
Yeah, that would have been so cool, man.
I think it could still be cool. That this year, let me think. So we released the album in 2009 of November of 2009. So does that make this the 13th year? Yeah. Is this the 13th year since we released or ish? Then that means like we could do a reunion show in the 13th year
with Doug.
It has to be with Doug. Yeah,
it has to be with Doug.
Yeah, and Doug had told me that he was down to do it. It's just that his schedule at the time, back in 2020, when we talked about his schedule, he had KXM, King's X, all kinds of stuff was going on. They were making a new King's X record. They were doing all kinds of stuff.
Dude, he's just all over the place, man.
Yeah, he's super busy, but he would do it. The situation just has to be right. So that's kind of cool. Dude, did you see that the Razor 13 record is being sold on eBay for $115?
What?
Yeah, no. Because we only released 1,000 copies of the physical CD, right? So like if you eBay it, and well, at least as of a couple months ago, if you eBayed it and looked at it, it was $150.78 or something stupid.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because like awesome. you can't get it,
Cool.
Like we don't make any more of them.
You can't get it other than just going to you or J-Rab or Mike.
Dude, I only have
I don't even know if Mike.
Yeah, I don't even know if Mike has one. I only have one that's unsealed, and it's going to remain unsealed. You got yours what? Oh, okay.
Nice. Yeah, J-Rab brought it to me. Even Doug. Yeah. And you know awesome. What? I first heard that when we had the ODC and J-Rab showed up, and it was pretty. The bar was empty. It was already just nobody there, and he's like, "Hey, dude, I got the Razor 13 with Doug on the album." I'm like, we had a massive PA at the bar.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Put it in, dude. We cranked it, and it was just. I was blown away, man.
I loved hanging out at that bar when I would come. When I didn't come very often because it was in Beaumont, and I lived in like Needville or something at the time.
Right.
But like when I did come, it was such a blast hanging out on the back patio.
Yeah.
Watching chicks make out with each other.
Yeah.
all kinds of crazy stuff happened at that place. You guys developed the ODC shots that like what would
Lucifer Sweat.
Lucifer Sweat. Yeah, it would like bring you in. This is what you
Well,
needed.
that shot was, I made it with a bartender at a place in Tomball
Okay.
called Bimbo's. And that was a place that I frequented every day.
Sure.
Literally.
Yeah, right.
And bartender came up to me, this guy, and he's like, "Hey man, let's make a shot that's just crazy and the most evil thing, but tastes good.
Oh yeah.
But will mess you up." I'm like, well, all right, let's try it. So I can't even tell you how many we did, like concoctions we made.
Yeah. You experimented
And
for a while.
yeah, man, it was a long time. Like it's like an hour or two. Finally, and mind you, I was writing everything down. So
Right.
he wasn't, but I was writing everything that he was making. And finally, what he was making, I'm like, man, it's just everything tastes like shit. And I'm not going to present this as something that we want to, So finally, I said, all right. So I started everything I wrote down. I started Xing out.
Okay.
Like, that's not good. That will never happen. This nope. Finally, it was these 7 liquors mixed with grenadine and Louisiana hot sauce. It was 13 shots of Louisiana hot sauce. I didn't want to do Tabasco. I wanted Louisiana hot sauce because I was born in Louisiana. I'm a native, right?
Yeah.
So when we made it and I mixed it, poured it, I'm like, wow, this actually tastes really good. And then after a couple of minutes, I'm like, wow, this is, yeah. I mentioned, I said, this is like licking the sweat off the devil's balls. And I wrote down Lucifer's sweat. And
yeah.
it stuck. And that was the official ODC shot.
I remember sitting there with Rachel Gerber, Dawn, my wife, and maybe somebody else. And yeah, and like you were like, you guys made them for us.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, what's going on here? I think Razor 13 played that night with Soldier. That was Scott's birthday. Yeah. And so we did that, and I don't remember playing on the stage.
You don't? I'll kill it, man.
Only a little bit. Like I remember running around going, wow, this is cool. Look at that. Look, there's people. It's packed. This is fucking awesome. Yeah. That's about all I remember, though.
No, it was fun, man. Matter of fact, Doug, when he showed up first before anybody.
Yeah.
And it was so cool because there were some people at the bar early, and a lot of them bass players.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because they heard that Razor Team's playing with Doug Pinnick, featuring Doug Pinnick.
Right.
So all these bass players show up at the bar, and all the local bass players. And Doug walks in, just being Doug. He walks in. There's like this silence in the bar, and this, and Doug's like, "Hey, being all cool.
Hey guys, this place looks cool."
Yeah, nobody could talk to him at first. They were like, "The Doug Pinnick's here." Oh my God. Doug walks over and it's like, "Hey man," because I met him in Austin.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Months before that, or a year before that. Got to be friends. Got his number, and people, they started surrounding him, like walking around the where we had that dance floor where the stage was.
Yeah.
Just staring at Doug, and they just couldn't believe it's Doug Pinnick.
Right.
And finally, he goes, "Man, this is pretty fucking cool bar, man." He's looking at all the posters on the wall.
Yeah.
And immediately started talking about because y'all just got back from Europe.
Right. Okay.
Shortly before that.
Yep, that's right.
And finally, he turned around and, "Oh, hey, how you doing? I'm Doug Pinnick." "Yeah, I know who you are." All the bass players. Oh my God. This one guy walked in and he's like, people were calling me and they were like, "Doug Pinnick's here from King's X." And they're like, "No way, man. You're full of shit." I said, "No, man, Doug's here." Cars were showing up everywhere, man.
Yeah.
And it was all bass players. So I think half your audience was bass players.
Oh, that's cool.
All the bass players.
I remember the next day I had to go pick Doug up from a house. He went off and partied with some people.
Next morning?
The next morning. Yeah. And so me and my wife, but she wasn't my wife then, but whatever. We ended up going and finding Doug wherever he was and picked him up, and he had a great time.
He called me. and I was at my mom's house, and he was like, "Hey, Rob, I don't know who to call. I don't know where I am." But so I called you. It's like, can you go
Okay.
get a hug,
And I
please?
did. Yeah.
You did. Yeah. That was
That was
fun though.
it
We
was
had a
fun.
great time. I mean, it was um and you guys were top notch that night, man.
Well,
You
thanks, man.
stellar. It was so good, man.
This is a fun story I was just thinking about. So towards the end, and let's not call it the end, but towards when Razor 13 was about to kind of stop playing, J-Rab was going to go do something else, and we wished him all the best, and
Right.
we auditioned a couple of drummers, and you were one of them.
Came
And
in for 2 days. I remember that. Yeah.
yeah, for 2 days, you were the drummer of Razor 13.
What happened? What happened?
uh,
And then y'all didn't do anything.
yeah, Mike happened. So sorry, Mike, but I mean that's what happened. Like Mike had other
So
stuff.
there's the story. I
There's the
was
story.
wondering what happened because I knew all your material.
Yeah,
And
and,
I came
dude, and
in-
you came in and you brought this tightness because I've I don't know why I had forgotten how tight your double bass is, and when you sat down and you added double bass to things that may have not
wasn't
had it
much.
before,
It was just tasteful enough to.
it was fantastic and it was
Thank
tight
you.
as fuck. And I
Thank
was
you.
like, that's when I started taking photos. I think I even
Yeah, I
put it
remember
on
that.
like the Facebook page or
Yeah.
MySpace or whatever it was back then. I'm like, new
MySpace.
drummer. He's the new drummer. This is where
I
we're
think
going.
You did. You posted that.
Because we had a photographer there taking photos
Yeah.
of us. Yeah. And I was like,
for Al
this is
Shire,
it.
he was singing all the parts and playing too.
Yeah. And then I was like, this is it. And
Yeah,
then
just-
Mike, yeah.
we were
Whatever.
just jamming for like 30 minutes. So
Music
I
lab.
came up with a riff and we were just playing, and it ended up. Mike goes, "Oh, I think this is going to be a new song." Just
Yeah.
and I was like, so the next day it came in, we were just playing the whole set and playing, and it sounded amazing, man. It was so cool. And then I was like, well, what happened?
Yeah,
What
that's what happened. So Mike was with I don't know, and I don't want to speak for Mike about what happened, but he was dating a girl.
He moved.
So what I remember about it was like he kind of, I don't know. And I don't know. Like I don't want to put anything out there that I'm not sure about, but it just all of a sudden Razor 13 wasn't doing anything anymore.
But we had a great time in Austin after. It was me, you, and Scott.
Yep.
And we hit all the nightlife in Austin.
Yeah. We
Two
went
nights
to like the Coyote Ugly place too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
watched the girls dance on the bar and stuff. And then you presented me with
My chain. I gave you my chain.
The nickel plated chain. I still have it.
Yes.
It's in this closet.
Really?
And I wanted to pull it out, but I got a lot of stuff in there. But
That's fine.
it was like,
yeah,
I was so fucking happy, dude. Like you have no idea how happy I was. Like, oh my God, I'm part of this. Like, it's finally.
Well, I think I told Scott that night, I was like, you know what? I said, of all the things we've done, like especially touring together, Race 13, because we were all wearing our chains then,
right? Yeah,
6, and I came up with the idea of like, look, man, the people that are really close to us and that are part of what we do and appreciate that. I think we need to start presenting them the chains. It's like, oh, that's cool. Let's do that. All right, man. Good idea. So you were the first one. Yeah, you were the first. And I was like, dude, I'm giving him my chain. Scott goes, wow. All right. Yeah, I'm giving it to him tonight. All right, cool.
On 6th Street.
Yeah, I was on 6th Street.
It was fantastic. I thought, dude, I felt so fucking cool. I really did. I was like, fuck yeah.
We started doing that only because it was an identity thing because everybody around Houston would see us wearing, and they knew, or they saw somebody wearing something else like the chain, and they go, oh man, that guy must be friends with Six Past Hell or in the Outlaw Drink Club.
Right.
Because that's what gave me the idea then, but not give it, passing one off as, Scott's the president, I'm the vice president. So
Yeah.
I thought it was a great idea, and it's yes, and not many have got it. Like, the
I
guys from
love
Turkey.
it, dude. It's nickel plated. It's fucking fantastic, dude. I'll pull
Oh
it out if me and I don't go out very much, but when I do, if I pull that, I'm pulling that sucker out. We're
yeah,
going.
man.
All right, we're going to town.
Yeah,
You know?
Julia had one.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
Mistress Julia.
awesome.
She presented hers when she came to host the ODC, the 1 year anniversary. I loved her.
Yeah.
She came
I
in.
was looking at that flyer actually yesterday. I was like, oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
6 pastel. And then Mistress Julia. I was like, this is so fucking cool.
great friend. I love her. I love her to death, man.
So how did you guys end up meeting? You and Julia.
That was I do a backstory on that one. That was when I was at a bar in Beaumont watching some friends play, local band. And another friend that I'd known for a long time came up and said, "Hey, Rob, you ever heard of the band Pump Jack?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. I love that band." She's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
really?" I said, "Yeah." Well, Pump Jack had played. They did the tour with Pantera off the 101 proof tour, and for watching them, I'm like, man, that they stuck out, dude. When Pump Jack
Oh, dude. Yeah,
came
absolutely.
on stage, and here's this man, I forgot what they were playing. It was in Houston. It was wow. Okay, I don't remember, but
That's all right.
Pump Jack showed up. It was Pump Jack, and then Coal Chamber, and then Pantera.
Wow.
But yeah, what a great lineup.
Yeah.
But Pump Jack, they came out, and Thurber, the lead singer, guitar player, he came out and he goes, "The party starts now, motherfucker!" And they just started, and it was just like, what? I was like, dude, they tore it up, dude. And Dime is on right stage, Vinny's on left stage, watching them standing like this on the monitors, on the side. And it just blew us away, man. And I always remember that. So fast forward years and years later. So I'm sitting at this bar, and this girl that I've known, I'm friends with, like different family friends, said, "Hey, I'm dating a Thurber T from a band called Pump Jack. You ever heard from him?" I just, yeah. Well, he's here. I want you to meet him. Like, so he comes out the door, like the back door, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm 13, man. It's Pump Jack." I'm like, "I know who you are, dude." So we got to talking, and we ended up talking for like 2 hours outside, and just shots, and drinking. He goes, "Hey, man, give me your number, dude." All right. He goes, "We're friends now." I'm like, all right, cool. So I call him like a week later, and he's back in Midland, is where he lives.
Okay.
And that was in 08. And during our conversation, he got to talking about, like, he goes, "Yeah, man, we're supposed to do Ride for Dime, but our drummer, yeah, he's he quit or whatever." I'm like, "Dude, I'll play." He's like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, okay." So he goes, "Hold on, man. Let me call you back in about an hour." So he calls me back in an hour. He goes, "Hey, Rita is setting up your plane ticket, and
Oh,
for you to come
wow.
to Midland." Really? Okay. So that's what happened. I got my plane ticket that Rita had bought. So I went to Midland for 2 days, and I met. I stayed at Willie's house. He's not with us anymore. He died. Bass player.
Yeah.
Willie Hicks was a beautiful human being.
Yeah.
He had the most ultimate Kiss house. If you want a Kiss shrine, if you want to see the ultimate, that was his house.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So that was before going into the rehearsal room. So
Yeah.
I'm like, this is where all the Pump Jack magic happens, man. This is where all the songs were made. Because you remember Thurber and Dime were best friends, close
Oh,
friends.
yeah.
Very close. And I think he told me a story that him and Phil were roommates during the Cowboys from Home recordings.
Really?
That's how he met Dime.
Okay.
So you need to get Thurber on your podcast. He'll give you a lot
I
more
do.
stuff.
That would be great.
I can set that up. But
Okay, cool.
so anyway, so I'm rehearsing with them and going through their whole set. So we did that, and then we're on our way to Dallas, man. And we did Ride for Dime, and of course Julie's there. She's hosting it.
Right.
Rita, and the first time I ever met him, and I'm looking at Julie. He's like, man, I watch you Uranium.
Yeah.
You know,
On Fuse
and
TV.
you're right here. I'm, this is so cool. So after the show, we go back to Dime's house. That was unexpected. That was an unexpected invite,
right,
in the sense that we're going back now. So we had been there already,
sure,
before the show, and I'm freaking out. Like, this is heavy metal Graceland, man.
right.
This is like, it's emotional because he's not there,
right.
and dude, I'm seeing Doug Pinnick stuff. I'm seeing all.
You love
that. And but it didn't hit me until we went back after the show. Like, really, this is, everybody at the after party, I guess, went over there, and everybody's didn't hit me till how many bands that we love have graced that place and have been there. And there's a bottle of wine from guys in Slayer, and it's just so all that. And the next day, well, that night, we're sitting there, and Julia was kind of by herself over in the corner, and dude, she goes to Dime had this jukebox that had all this country music, dude, just tons of country. So Julia puts on David Allen Coe,
of course,
and she was like, "Hey, Rob, come on, you're dancing with." I'm like, "I am. I don't know how to dance. Don't care." So we danced in the little living room, and then we went outside by the pool area and just talked and hung out. And it's like, dude, it's a good friend right now. I'm making a good friend in this person.
Right.
Exchange numbers, and it's the rest is history, man. So
dude, that's awesome. What a great story.
Yeah, and matter of fact, that night, at the time, Rita's nephew was living in the house. Okay. So he's taking care of everything. Got to be good friends with him. And he said, "Hey, man, anytime you're in Dallas, why don't you swing by and stay here?" Okay. Well, I guess it was like 3 or 4 months later. They had a horror fest going on in Dallas. So I called him. I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm coming to Dallas for the horror convention. We'll stay here, dude." Okay. Of course, I brought Scott and everybody else. Had to. So we all just converged at Dime's house, and brought my buddy Chad Hester, just one of my best friends, and immediately started crying as soon as you open the door. It's because it's done. We stayed there the whole weekend, and that was just, the relationship behind people that and respect, and they're just very common with you.
Sure.
No matter what position they are in life, as far as, it's amazing to be in that circle. And
that's so cool.
So that's my backstory with Julia. So we had the ODC, and we were doing the I think just the grand opening. We'd opened for almost a year or so, and got in touch with her manager, the guy that was manager, say we wanted to host this 1 year anniversary, and immediately was like, done.
Nice.
So she came down, and it was we broke the fire code.
I remember you telling me that, because I remember coming to the club, and you were like, so we've been together, or we've had this bar open for a while, and we've experienced a bunch of stuff. We've broken the fire code. I remember you telling me, it's not hard to do.
Fire code 2 or 3 times. Just who we had, like,
sure.
But we had to put it out in the balcony or smoking area, which you put a tent, and consider wasn't part of the building, so it wasn't really, it wasn't a bad thing. So they couldn't do anything about it.
Okay.
But we had, dude, it was crazy. But she hosted and did she's so pro, man.
Yeah. Oh,
dude,
I know.
And that was where our whole friendship began. Really, that's
super cool.
Yeah.
She like I remember watching her on Uranium and stuff all the time too. And I'm 1 year younger than her. And
yeah.
So and I only just recently realized that because I Googled her the other day. And I was like, holy crap. Like, so I'm like, 17 and she's like 18 hosting a show. I was like, holy
Dude,
crap.
She was responsible for bringing to the mainstream at that type of platform.
Oh,
Like
dude.
oh God,
Yeah.
Evergreen, bands that she exposed.
Mudvayne.
Yeah.
Like back. I mean, like everybody from 2000 and what was that? 2001, 2002, 2000.
Yeah. She was the pioneer, dude.
When fucking MTV went to 16 and pregnant and quit playing fucking music.
Yeah. She came out just horns blazing, man.
Dude, that was my favorite show. It was my favorite show.
We would watch it every week. It would come just to find who's new.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's like what band is she gonna put on today? What's and then you discover these other 2 or 3 bands off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, she's responsible for that, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You got to get her on your show.
Well, you're gonna be the one who has to help me out with that, and I would love it. And
yeah, for sure.
Like, I've
guarantee
been a big fan of hers.
Stories, even better stories than we ever would have.
Oh, dude, I know. Like, I watched an episode with her, like literally YouTubed it not too long ago, where she's at Dime's house, but Dime's still alive.
Damage Plan.
Yeah, Damage Plan. They're doing the Damage Plan stuff, man. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I remember watching this and I forgot about it. And so then I went down a rabbit hole of watching just like whatever Uranium is on YouTube. And I was like, it took me back and I was like, oh, this is so great. And she was so good at she's doing what like I like to do. What I feel like I'm doing right now is just fucking hanging out.
Dude,
just being part of it.
Yeah, she's got that personality where she can sit and talk to somebody and make them feel like they're important.
Yeah, dude, that's cool. I met a guy in New York City on a King's X tour. We played, I mean, I'm sure there's a couple of these, but this was a church in downtown New York or Manhattan or whatever. And it was an old church. It was like 3 stories tall. The stage was on the bottom. Anyway, in New York, they have, what do they call that? Like, oh my gosh, where you work, unions, right?
Yeah.
But so anyway, this guy Beef, I don't know what his name is. His name was Beef. He's got a mohawk and he's like hanging out. He's helping us unload the bus, helping us set up the stage and all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, dude, Julia lives in my building, and I'm like,
yeah, she's in New York for a long time. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's fucking sweit, dude. And
how was that?
Yeah. But I would like if she came on, that's what I'm gonna ask her. I'd be like, do you know Beef? Like, I don't know what his real name is, but he told me his name was Beef.
I can only imagine where he got his name. Yeah.
Right.
Going back to the 80s shows.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you got going on right now? I mean, like, are you doing anything musically besides Six Pass stuff?
Well, what Scott had told you at the very end of your interview was working with Derber.
And you sent me some stuff.
What do you think about it?
I fucking loved it. Now I'm going to listen to it again. Because I listened to it like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when you sent it to me. And I was just like listening to it on the phone. I was like, I got to go put this on the stereo. And
yeah.
I went in the house and put it on the stereo and I was like, holy fuck. And this is just demos. That sounds great.
Well, I mean, I got to go back and do my drums, but it's one of those moments where you really listen to something and it's just so good. Like,
cool.
It's because Thurber has a way of taking Scott's riffs and just putting his vocal line to it and bringing it alive.
Yeah.
That's a unique gift, and then he just has that, and this goes back since 2012, dude.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. We started. Scott started sending me like these songs. He would do like full songs, and he would do bass, guitar, and drums, but no vocals. He would, send it to me, and I thought, man, I could just send this to Durban, and I would, and I'd send. What do you think about this, man? All of a sudden, it come back with vocals.
Oh wow.
I didn't expect. Yeah, just came back with vocals, and it was just amazing, dude. I'm like, what? But see, as far as timing, like him and Punk, yeah, they were still doing a lot of stuff, but timing has a lot to do with it. And I told him before, it's like, man, it's gonna happen at some point. From 2012 to now,
10 years.
You know, but it's even got better.
Hell
Like the
yeah.
stuff that I sent you, it's yeah, man. And JR Six Past L is finishing his stuff up. So there's what I love it. There's what my band is and what's going on with Thurber. There's no title or no name for the band, but I think it'd be cool for all to come out at the same time.
Absolutely.
That's my vision. Six Past Hell to have their stuff final, and then the stuff we're doing with Thurber.
Dude, that's so fucking cool.
I just it's as a musician, that you can rewrite a song 20 times and always go back to the very first track, and that's when you went.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
The on the Razor 13 album, Doug's very first version of Alive, which I have sitting.
I was hearing of that with you and J-Rap. Y'all were talking about it.
I have it. It's sitting right over here, and that's the version. I don't think, and like that's my favorite song too. But like,
I love this.
The original Mike's solo is 100% different. And Doug's voice is bigger in the original, but something happened. And this is for everyone listening. This is like kind of in the beginning of everyone being able to transfer files from studio to studio. Like it had been going on for a little while, but still new. Everybody's still trying to figure it out. And something happened from Doug sending his stuff that he did at his house in Katy to Paul Sarosky's studio in Austin, and he lost all the vocals. So Doug came back to Paul Sarosky's studio and re-recorded all of them and did a great fucking job. And they're massive and it sounds amazing. But the first one is something different, dude. Like I think we need to release it. Like it's got a different solo. It's not mixed at all, but it's mixed because Doug mixed his vocals over our stuff, but our stuff wasn't even really, and it's so huge. I literally was mowing Doug's lawn. Doug would pay me in weed, be like, hey, come mow my lawn. And be like, I'll give you some weed. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll mow your lawn. And, so I was mowing his lawn, and as soon as I think I was done or about to be done, and Doug said, hey, come inside. I'm like, all right, cool. And we sat down, rolled a joint, and started smoking it, and he hit play. And I started fucking crying. I was like, I can't believe.
Maybe that guy.
He changed the song. I think we had that song. We had that song with Carrie, and with the girl lead singer. Yeah, the girl lead singer before.
You had it with her, that song?
Yeah, and because her and me were going to do, somebody heard me sing one day when I was in Las Vegas, and they're like, dude, you can sing. And I was like, I can. But it turns out I can't. But I had one moment where it sounded like I could sing. Anyway, but her and me were going to do dueling vocals. It was going to be her singing one part and then I'd sing the other, and it was back and forth. And then it turned out we realized that Ryan has no control over his voice, and so we never did it. But when Doug came in, Doug came in and did it, and I mean, I sat down I call it the Doug chair. It was like a love seat in his room where he listened to everything and played everything because he had big speakers in there. And we sat down there and listened to it, and I heard the choir of Doug, and I was like, I'm a part of this. Like I am a part of what's happening, and it was all because of his vocals.
That is something that when I heard that album, and y'all hadn't released it yet, J-Rab was showing me the it was a full mix and master, but it wasn't released yet.
Yeah.
And I felt so just, that privilege, like, wow, this is what everyone's going to hear. And I can't tell you, Scott and I we were just proud of you guys. I'm like, man, they got it now, man. This is it.
Dude, nothing happened. And then we toured once, and that was it. Or
well,
twice.
we are toured together. It was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome. Little hiccups here and there, but that's what you're going to have. When you have a tour, I don't care who it was,
Sure.
what band, the bus was the best, but
for us, yeah, no, for us,
George
we were.
It was a George Lynch bus, so I'm cool.
It was our cigarette holes and the bunks and everything.
Oh man, you know what the best bus, the first bus we toured with Six Past Hell was a Van Hole. It was awesome. It was beautiful. That was the first tour.
Call it Black Beauty or something?
No. The first one we did with Gunship, the first tour we brought him in, it was the Van Hole, and Sean Sitka was driving, and man, that bus was stellar. The second one we had with them was the Black Pearl.
Oh, the Black Pearl, that's right.
And that was Marty Stewart's bus.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Highwayman album was wrote on that bus.
No way.
Long time ago, but a story nobody tells about. Yeah,
dude, that is cool.
So, dude, that bus had hand-tooled leather all over, like
really,
from front to back, all the way to the bunk area, all the way to the lounge. Just hand-tooled leather, dude. Yeah, that and we're so sitting. Cool. We're sitting on that bus. We're touring on a bus with a band of Japan history.
Gunship 666.
Dude, I miss them. I miss those guys, man.
I loved the fact that Razor 13 got to play with them once. I just remember, because I'd already seen you guys play with them at least a couple of times. And then we got to play with them one night at
that was
forget about it or something.
Forget about it.
And,
no, it was BFE.
Was it BFE?
BFE.
What's the difference?
Location. Within a mile.
Yeah.
Same
it went from one place to another, right? Because man, what a crazy time. But anyway, I remember that, and I remember thinking, this chick, she was so fucking good. Yeah.
Lady died.
And she's she was so nice and so awesome. And then she got up there and shredded like it was going out of style, dude.
Dude, she's insane, man.
Yeah.
And Doug was there.
Yep.
Doug was there. Yeah. And I remember being they know King's X. Anything you try to tell them, have you heard of this band? They know.
They know.
They're and they were whispering to each other King's X, Doug Benning. And yeah, it's Doug, and I mean, he was so kind to them, so cordial. They came up and he introduced himself, and they were just starstruck. Doug was starstruck by them.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
He was so kind, and he was just. But that was a good show, man. That was
their presence.
It was a 13 and Gunship 666.
Yeah, dude, their presence when they would come out. The lead singer, he'd come out. He's got that fucking full body tattoo, and it's like, holy fuck!
Yeah.
These guys who are hanging out with us, by the way, before they play, are all super nice and hanging out and chilling, and they just have a normal personality, just like anybody else, talking, and then they get on stage and they transform.
Angry came to our show, our reunion show, Six Past Hell.
Oh, cool.
And we did, and he sang. We did their song "Drinking Is My Business."
Yeah,
dude. Him and Josh together. It was cool. Great, dude. I got the whole video that was sent to me from somebody recording on Facebook, but I can't. It's so hard. I can't send it to anybody else. I have the whole show from when Julia was there, and she introduced us. The curtain went down to. I don't know. Maybe I could send it to you and see what you can do with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Huh.
There's an app called Signal. You can do it in you could send it in an email too, but if you download Signal, you can just drop files in it.
Okay.
I think it's only like it only allows so much, but the cool thing, the reason this is they're not a sponsor, but like the but
Yeah.
what I love about them is I can just drop files in there like it's nothing and send it to you versus
Right.
Facebook Messenger where you can't do it or it's
Oh,
very
okay.
very limited. So
That
you can
makes
do
sense.
that, or you could do it in a an email, and that would be great. I would love it. And if I can do
Dude,
anything,
that show's great. Yeah, it was just done on a phone, but the audio is pretty killer, man. Yeah,
dude, that's
yeah,
awesome.
especially
On
for
my
Ingrid.
phone.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. But I was gonna say at the very beginning, the last time we ever met, like face to face, was
Yeah.
the damn show at Warehouse Live.
Oh yeah.
What that was 09, 10?
Yep. No, it was 9. No, maybe 10. But I had the guy who I worked for,
That's
and
the last time I saw you face to face.
I got to give this guy a shout out. His name is Jason or Jay. He used to own Jay's Bar in Needville, Texas. And, he's a huge Down fan, a huge Phil Anselmo anything. He went to the Dover Brothers concert last night here at BFE.
Okay.
So the guys from
Yeah.
In Minor and stuff.
Right. Minor. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he went there.
Press tour.
Yeah, I wanted to go. But we weren't able to make it. But yeah, he's a huge guy, and he's starting his own podcast. I don't know what it's called yet, but I'll keep everybody in the loop. Jay's a great guy. But yeah, that same night that I remember going to that show and seeing you and Scott and I think Marzi was.
Oh,
Marzi
Raven.
was yeah,
Raven.
that's right.
Remember, she's at Freak 13.
Yeah, that's right. Freak 13.
Yeah, the horror metal.
Dude, who else was in that band?
Scott Lackey,
Yeah, okay.
incredible guitar player, man.
Yeah, that's right.
I went on tour with them as a drum tech, and after our tour, but like Freak 13,
Sure.
not Race 13, and it was so funny, man, because it was their first. They've never done anything like that, but everybody was, because her voice was just unbelievable. Just
Yeah, absolutely.
voice with this whole horror genre, and everybody just kept going to her. So
Yeah.
none of the guys were getting any of the recognition. They're like, yeah, whatever, man, But it was cool because we went to all these, did this circle of tour, and we ended up in Indianapolis, Indiana, and there was Chris Jericho. So we hung out with him and drank a bit with him. And
did he have Fozzy at the time?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you
Nice.
still, yeah. But what was cool is doing a couple shots and beers with him, and he's actually shy. He's a really shy guy, man. He's not so open. Yeah, he's not like that. He's kind of, you pretty much do all the talking. He does. Oh, okay, cool. But really nice guy. And we talked about all of our influences back in the day, from the Christian metal,
Yeah.
yeah. And I was telling him, he's like, yeah, Chester Moore was telling me you toured with Tourniquet, the Christian thrash metal band. I'm like, yeah, we did a month on the road with them. He's like, what was that like? So we had a long conversation about that. And he was more interested in that than he was the convention. Yeah, it was pretty. Raven, my wife was Raven was just killing it every night, dude. Wow, it was just this. You have all this dark metal, and then she comes out with this voice, and people didn't expect it because they sell the posters, but they're like, "Oh, who's this chick?" Then when she started, they would turn their head, and then the crowd would just start coming in. So on the side of just being a drum tech, watching the show from that end was so cool, man.
That is cool.
Watching it, like, yeah, dude. And that's the first time I've ever
cool story, man.
It's the first time I've ever done that. I've always been the one in the band, not out,
not teching or whatever.
Yeah, that was cool, man. And yeah, it was great because what's funny is I would set up the drums for the drummer, and he was a punk drummer that got into this metal. So I'd set up all the stuff and I marked everything, just kind of J Rab would do.
Right.
This guy would, I love Paul. Paul's the name of the drummer, and it freaked him out. He didn't, he didn't understand. Somebody said it. So, so he would tear everything else back down and set it back up. And I'm like, okay, I need to show him Outlaw Drinking Club. That's what I need. So one night in Indianapolis, I brought him after they played the show, I brought him to the bar. And I said, dude, we're going to drink. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. No, we're going to drink. I think that's when he realized maybe I should let Rob just set up my gear and not say anything. Like, this is me telling you, dude, I got it. It's cool, but you're going to drink with me. It was hilarious, man. It was great. Awesome. But the rest of the tour, they did a long stint. Chicago, I think, was her last show. It was really cool, man. But yeah, Raven just wow. She shocked everybody.
Yeah, hell yeah. Okay. She's awesome.
Yeah. It's the kind of person that goes to karaoke and makes everybody embarrassed.
Yep.
Like when she starts singing, because she can sound exactly like the artist.
I know we're doting on our wives or whatever, but my wife also can sing, and that's my favorite part. Like, we don't go to bars or anything as much as we used to, but like when we do and there's karaoke, she shows up and she starts, belting out some Gretchen Wilson song or whatever and hits every single note, and you're like, and she's, like, just like, how is that voice coming out of that person?
Yeah, exactly.
That's so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, she has this, like I'll be at the house and she'll just put on YouTube or whatever, karaoke. And I think that's the artist. I'll be in the room and I'm like, wait a minute. Cause she'll do a variation, like a dark minor variation of whatever. I'm like,
wait, that's not
right, dude.
That's
wow.
Good, dude.
She's so good, man. Like,
that's awesome.
I go out there and she'll stop. What are you doing in here? I'm like, well, just heard it. It's killer.
You're singing. I came in.
Yeah.
I flocked to you.
Yeah. Go right there.
Yeah. I do the same thing, dude. My wife sings in the kitchen and stuff too. And it's so refreshing. It's weird. Have you guys, well, actually, here's a thing. I've never written anything with my wife before, besides like maybe like we were drinking and I had an acoustic guitar and we wrote some stuff that night, but don't remember it the next day. But we've never done music together, and we always talk about it. So you guys have never done anything either?
No. You know what? That's exactly what she says. How come we have not done any music together?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm the same boat as you are. We've always been doing something else with the guys, doing other stuff.
I think we've tried, and like I said, acoustic guitar, sitting there strumming away at something stupid. We kind of messed around with it. And then the next morning we're like, hey, that was fun. Like, yeah, it was fun. And then we never talked about it again.
You know what? That's the thing. Like, I will do just like, man, you would sound good on this, and I'll play something. Matter of fact, it was something that Scotty wrote. It was kind of a country type thing. And I played it and she started singing, just like making up lyrics and singing.
Sure. Yeah.
It sounded phenomenal, dude. And I'm like, wow. And she's like, well, you never asked me. So I'm like, well, I figured that's a given. Like, just go in and do it.
Yeah.
Because that's how I'm just going to go in and do it. But yeah, I get it. So yeah, it's weird. Like, our wives have talent beyond talent. And we're the ones that are on tour. We're the ones doing all this stuff with all these other people.
Right.
And
we've never done music.
We don't have any. Yeah.
I even tried. I think she was in a band with a guy named Craig. I don't remember. I think it was called, I literally think the band was called Breaking Dawn, and my wife's name is Dawn.
No way.
But like, we were in the middle of doing the Razor 13 thing, and they said they needed a bass player, and I showed up once or twice, and it was just, Craig was a DJ. So the guitar parts were like, they were made on a computer. So it wasn't a real guitar. And I was trying to play bass to this thing.
Yeah.
And Dawn was singing, and I don't know. It was just an excuse to hang out, drink, and play bass. And then, I was like, I'm not in, this is not me. It's not my thing.
All right.
But they were good. They made some good stuff. The where I want to go from here is
Right. Right.
we've been fucking hanging out for an hour, so I want to wrap it up, but I
No,
don't want you. I
it's been
don't
an
want you
hour.
to go anywhere. We're gonna have to do a part
It's been
2.
an hour. It's
Yeah,
been an
dude.
hour.
It's 4:17.
What?
Yeah, we started at
Can
3.
can I get another beer real quick in my kitchen and come back?
Dude, get
Give
a beer. Do
10
you want to?
seconds.
Do you want to keep recording this, or do you want to just
Yeah.
hang?
I want to keep recording and then I don't know,
Okay.
whatever you want.
Well, like I like.
I'm
So
having
my deal
fun.
is, I'm having fun too. So like, what I like to do is, we'll go get a beer first of all,
Yeah.
and then we'll end the episode, after a quick conversation, but we're still gonna hang out and talk after. Dude, I talked with Tracy and Hefe for fucking 2 hours after our last episode.
Like I said, FA he's always there.
He's always there.
That's him, man. He's
That
awesome.
Houston Oilers hat was pristine.
Yeah. Let me tell you something about I love, like I said, your podcast. I love it because I had a relationship with all these other than of course,
Like Jesse White, maybe I don't know.
yeah, I never, but like Marzi,
Yeah.
Doug, which I'm sure Doug, like I told Doug, I said, man, I'm sure I annoy the hell out of you. That sending you texts late at night, but he always texts back, and he always, I said, look, man, he's the only person that I've ever been like more like I don't know what to say. I've been around celebrities like all my life, never bothered me. That guy is the one that I usually, oh man, I don't know what to say to Doug.
Yeah.
And I know the shit out of him, dude. But he even said, he goes, no, we're friends.
Yep.
We're dear friends, man. Because the last King's X show at Scout Bar, dude, I know for a fact, when you're being yourself.
What year was that? Was that 2018?
And you annoy somebody. So,
oh yeah,
that was what year?
It was 18 or 19 or something.
18.
Yeah.
I think it was 18.
Because I was going to come to that show, and I had
you said you couldn't make it.
I had a house that had there was 2-story house, and I fell down the fucking stairs like a dumbass. Yeah, and I hurt my ankle, and my ankle's still fucked up from that. But like, I was like, I sent Doug a picture. I was like, dude, look at this. My ankle's all swollen. I was like, I can't come. He put me on the guest list and shit.
Yeah,
I was so bummed.
That was 18. Yeah, that was 2018.
Man, that's.
But we hung out. He was so sweet, man. He brought us outside and talked. But when you've been drinking beer that long throughout the evening and that night, a lot of conversations they don't make sense. So I was like, dude, I texted him the next day. I'm like, yeah, I know it was all over the place, blah blah blah. And his text back was like, I love you, bro.
Aww.
It was, man, that was cool. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, man.
That's Doug.
He's just, him and Jason McMaster are the most down to earth, sweetest, nicest, no ego whatsoever rock stars I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, Jason has his own podcast too. Did you know that?
Yes, yeah, I know that. Him and Bobby too. Bobby, yep. I think. Yeah.
I'm going to try to get Jason on this one.
You need to.
I don't know how.
Jason actually started the Rob Pastel.
Okay.
Because he would send me stuff in the mail, and it's Rob Pastel. So that's how.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's how I acquired it. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, me and Jason, all those guys like Broken Teeth, and guys at the Motor Company, which I have. He gave me the CD that came out last year, which is
cool,
phenomenal, dude. That music, because we had played with them, the Six Pastel,
right?
Broken Teeth and Godzilla Motor Company when he had it with Bobby.
Okay, yeah,
it was insane.
Dude, I haven't heard it,
it is. It's so different. It's its own. Godzilla Motor Company it's its own thing, man. And I was such a big fan. He knew I would. He was sending me like flyers. He sent me like a care package of all the flyers they did in Austin and all that, and also, I got the CD, man, and dude, it never leaves my car.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, good. It just, and Jason, he's shit. I think Six Pastels played with Broken Teeth about 3 or 4 times together as a package.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Broken
fun.
teeth, dude.
So much fun, dude. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Anything
I don't
Jason
remember
does,
how many times Razor 13 played with them, but I definitely at least once.
dude.
They're a great band.
Dude. Anything Jason does is just Evil United. Have you heard that one?
Maybe, but did you hear his Metallica tribute band?
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
fantastic. It was like
I know, right?
spot on. It was like
Dude,
great.
just it's like being around extreme talent, but they look at you and go, "Hey, man, I love what you're doing. I can't wait to
Yeah, I
play a
like
show."
what you're doing.
Like, what? Why would you want to play a show with me?
Yeah,
That's
that's so
cool.
cool.
Y'all are great. The same thing was like the first time we ever met. That was it Trees?
Who, you and me?
Yeah.
Was it Trees? It might have been.
Big Mike brought you.
It was.
I think it was.
Was it a King's X show or was it a
No,
Six
no,
Pass
no.
Hell show?
We were doing a we did a dime tribute. Was that the one?
Maybe.
When the curtain
So
opened, actually opened with Hellbound?
maybe.
Was that the
Maybe.
one?
So my memory of meeting you guys is super fuzzy because it's like four shows kind of blurred into one. Because he brought me to a bunch of different ones and he was like, these guys, you have to meet these guys. You know, Six Pass Hell, these guys are fucking phenomenal. They're great. It's a great show. And I was like fresh off of whatever King's X tour and new to the Razor 13 thing that was trying to form.
Yeah.
And you know, I just kind of went wherever and Mike bought me beer. Like, all right, cool, let's go. Dude, these guys are badass.
Well, I think it was a few months after that we're on the road together.
Yeah, 4 months. Yeah, we got done with the King's X tour in 2005 in December. Then Christmas happened, and I either showed up between Christmas and New Year's, or I came right after New Year's, and it was 2006.
Yeah.
So let's just say January, and then
Yeah.
you and me were on a tour bus 4 months later, driving to LA.
But before that, we were at barbecues at Scott's house.
That's right. Oh, dude, yeah. He had that. The big square one there where you could put meat in all the racks and stuff, right?
Oh, dude, it was just brisket and
and a trampoline.
And a trampoline, which if Boss probably still has a scar if you watch the video.
He fucked himself up somehow, right?
Well, no, Chad Hester, my buddy. It's on video. If you go on YouTube and watch it, it's up at 6 Past Hell and look at all the YouTube videos. He had lit that M80.
Oh, that's what happened.
Threw it when Boss was jumping on the tramp. As soon as he landed, it popped around his cheek.
Dude, I had a lot of fun at that house.
Different times I'd come out. You took a picture of me coming out of the shower with a beer.
I did. It was me.
That was you. I think you took a picture.
Yeah. I took that photo. You're like, you got your hair, you're pulling your hair back and you got your thing here. I was because that was like one of the nights that, all the nights, you and me, you're such a good talker and I like to talk as well. And we stay up all fucking night. We passed out. I think I passed out on the floor, or whatever.
You passed out under Scott's air hockey machine.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then you woke me up and you gave me a beer and you're like, I'm going to take a shower. And when you came out of the shower, I was like, I took this photo because you had the beer in your hand. And you're like, all right, what are we going to do today?
Well, we got steamy in the shower. I need something to cool me off. So.
Right. Yeah. That was a long time. That was 20 fucking years ago almost.
The bar after that and saw a band and came back and then Scott had a studio in his room. We started jamming.
I have CDs here of stuff we did. We wrote or we recorded at the studio and used the electronic drums you had there.
drums. The drums.
And I've got that literally sitting right here. Let me look.
Really? Yeah. Wow.
It's somewhere in this.
Wow.
And it'll say something like 6 Past Hell, like this one says Carrie's song on the top, which is interesting. Razor 13 demo. Dude, look at these things, man. Like, no, they don't even make
That's awesome, man. Look at that. Wow.
That's Razor awesome. 13 demos, 4th of July and Rage.
Oh man. Dude, I remember you sent me that song.
Dude, Rage died. I think he killed himself.
You think
I
so?
don't know why.
Man, I was watching
Yeah.
the podcast with you and Mike, and I was like, and he told me that Joey died, and
Yeah.
dude,
From
I've
Brujeria.
been working with him, but way before.
Yeah.
I had no, because he told me he was going on the he was doing the Walking Dead,
Yeah.
and before that, the Underworld. He said, "Man, I'm excited today. I'm putting the prosthetics in Kate Beckinsale's mouth. Making the
Yeah.
teeth." And I kept in touch with him a lot, but up until last year, I haven't heard anything from him. I didn't know he died. That's
This
disappointing.
this is from that time. It says
Chuck.
Chuck. It says Chuck
Yeah,
on it.
yeah, yeah. You were chuck wagging.
And then there's another one. It says shitty demo on it. I mean, what we were just making, we were drunk and like, hey, let's do this. Hit record.
You know what? You know why you got the name Chuck? Remember that?
Okay, let me tell you my version. Let me tell you my version, and then you tell me your version because
Okay.
I've
Okay.
heard different ones. So my version is Big Mike is talking to JR on the phone, and JR's like, so how's your bass player Chuck doing? And Mike's like, who the fuck is Chuck? Like, oh, your bass player. You mean Ryan? He goes, oh, well, he looks like a Chuck or something, and like that's the story.
That's
Is that
correct.
it? Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
And that's how it stuck.
Okay. You told him your name like multiple times,
Right.
and Josh is like, he kept saying Chuck. Yeah, man, bass player Chuck's cool, man. I'm like, who's Chuck? Bass player. I was like, his name's Ryan. Are you sure? I'm like, well, yeah. He introduced himself as Ryan. He looks like a Chuck to me.
Looks
So,
like a Chuck.
and then on tour it became Chuck Wagon.
Yep.
And
Chuck
then,
Wagon Cook. Because my last name's Cook.
Yeah, Chuck Wagon, and then Pirate.
Pirate.
So you were,
and then
we
it turned
called you
into
all-
13. It turned into all kinds of weird stuff.
yeah, we called you all those names on the road, and you answered to all of them too.
Yeah. Chuck. What?
That was funny. Hey, Ryan.
13.
Matter of fact, you know what? When Josh started calling you Ryan, you said it just seems weird, dude.
Yeah,
Remember on the bus, you're like, "It seems weird. You call me Ryan." He was like, "Just figured your name out." I was like, "Well, I don't know, man. Just call me Chuck. Keep calling me Chuck." He's like, "All right,
Chuck. That's my nickname now, man. And dude, I still respond to it. Like I talked to Big Mike the other day, and Big Mike was like, hey, what's up, Chuck Wagon? And I'm like, dude, what's up, man? How you doing? I love it. It's fun. I love having nicknames. Shire calls me 13. That's why you're on the 13, old Al Shire.
I love it." Yeah,
And I'll respond to all of them. Fuck it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's have fun. Let's go. Watch it go. 3. Hey, okay. So I want to wrap this up, but I don't want you to go anywhere. I want you and me to hang out for a minute, have another beer.
Yeah.
Everybody who's been listening, this has been Rob Pastel. Rob, would you like to, say anything, any last words, or you want to come on again and talk about aliens or some shit?
What I would love to do is come on again with Scott, Zach, and JR.
Oh, dude, that would be fantastic.
Like all of us. Yeah.
That would be super fantastic. He told me he was going to do that the next day. Like they were going to Zach's kid's birthday. His daughter's birthday. And he said everyone was going to be there, but it turned out not everyone was there, so we never did it.
No.
But I wish we had. Do you know how crazy? And like Zach said, or like Scott said, it's going to be chaos. If we get all 5 of us together, it's going to be fucking crazy.
Because I know my guys, I know my band. It would be a barbecue. It'd be one of those things. You know what? What would be really great? For you to come out.
Yeah, we need to do it in person
and film it in person, because it'd be barbecue weird. Other than what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Come out. Yeah, come out.
And
there.
I have microphones for my other YouTube channel. Like I've got. Oh, they're not sitting around here, but I've got like these little microphones that you can clip to yourself, and so I could like mic us all up. Yeah, and we can all just be hanging out, record, and I don't know, find somebody to record us. That would be fun as hell.
That would be a lot of fun, man. Because I think that you would actually capture exactly what goes on with a with Six Past Hell boys together.
Yeah,
Like,
that would be cool, man.
even in our age, we're still young. We still feel,
Oh, dude.
we still feel like it. You know,
I feel like
life is short. Life is short
for a
brother.
short period of time every day. Like every
can't-
day, I'm like, yeah, I'm young again.
You can't look at the picture of, oh my God, I'm getting older, and that's the end. When you start doing that, that's when I think you really start feeling old. I think that's when you start basically degrading yourself. You know,
Yeah.
because in our mind, especially in mine, it's always going to be like we were when we first started playing music. We're kids.
Yeah.
Keep that. Got to keep the youth, bro.
Hey, I like that, dude. That feels good for me. Like I've been going through some pretty mentally tough times, especially since 2020.
All of us have that.
And I don't really know how to. I don't know. I don't know how to talk about this, but it's been hard up here, you know.
Yeah.
And I've been getting through some stuff, and which is great. And I've had a lot of friends give me some great guidance and all that. But like the getting older part, and I don't know, I haven't been taking that very well, you know. And
It's inevitable, brother.
yeah, it is. And I've been having negative self-talk in here.
Right.
And it's the interior inside brain saying bad things.
And you know, I go through that. Well, like I said, August 27th, I turned 50.
Yeah.
And probably a couple of weeks ago, it kind of hit me. I was in my car and I just thought, holy shit, I'm going to be 50 years old. Then when I got home, I was like,
hell yeah, I'm going to be 50.
This is kind of cool. Yeah, this is kind of cool. I mean, all right, I'm gonna deal with this head on and look at myself in the most positive way I can.
Absolutely.
Like we were talking about earlier, you know, like we don't look it. That's a gift, dude. So,
absolutely, dude.
That's awesome. He should be doing just celebrating every day the way he looks, you know.
Yeah.
And
still shredded.
Inspiration from him, from Doug. That dude always is smiling and always embracing. So right there, man, you know, that's it's a beautiful thing. So I think you're, you know, the old saying, you're only as old as you feel. I look at it, you're only as old as you think.
Okay.
Not as you feel.
Yeah. Right.
You're only as old as you think, dude.
There you go.
Because I feel we have a lot of shows left in us together. And I think we have a lot of fun times as a brother of being together, which, you know, time, jobs, kids pull us apart.
Yeah.
And we start getting stagnant in that. Like,
yeah.
Wow, you know what? It doesn't take much for me to just go hang out.
Yeah.
The only thing that stops you is like, do I really want to get out of bed? Do I want to get off the couch? Do I really want, you know?
Yeah. I have to go to work at 4 a.m. tomorrow. Do I want to go outside?
When we were younger, we used to laugh at people that thought about the way we do now.
Yeah, no, that's true, dude. But like, it's 100% true. Like I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to get up at 4 a.m. I'm not going out tonight, you know?
Yeah. And before, we'd have went out till 3 a.m. Went home, took a shower, and went to work.
That's right.
Which I'm not saying that's good, you know, but
that's why Hot Topic did not hire me back after the seasonal.
That's how we thought.
Yeah.
And we didn't think anything of it. It was no big deal. Like,
yeah, I remember going to work after a night out drinking with you guys, and I worked at Hot Topic or whatever. And
oh man, yeah.
And like I went
I'm
to
sorry.
work. Yeah, what? Not your fault. Not your fault. I went to I wasn't supposed to go to work that day. And I got a phone call from the manager, and she was like, "Hey, I'm driving past Gessner and Westheimer, which is kind of where I lived at the time. Like, I'm going to pick you up. I need you to come work at the store." So, okay, all right. I'd been asleep for like an hour.
Smelling like booze.
I woke up with a shower beer, and don't judge me.
Oh,
I
no,
shower beers. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about them. And anyway, so she picks me up, and she's got a stuffy nose because she's kind of sick or something. And but she could smell the booze, but she didn't say
Yeah.
anything. And later on, she's like, dude, so one of our other associates told me that you smelled like beer when you came to work. And I was like, okay. She was like,
Cool.
Ryan, you can't work here if you're smelling. Are you drinking before you come to work? I was like, no, both times you guys called me on a Saturday or a Sunday and said, hey, come to work. And I was already drinking.
I've been drinking for 18 hours.
And I was like, yeah, fine, I guess I'll come. But like now I know as older I'm getting, if work calls me and I've had a beer, I'm, on a Sunday, like, hey Ryan, we really need you to come in. Like,
Right.
Okay, I've had a beer or 6.
Yeah.
You want me to come in? Oh, never mind. Click.
I remember when we worked, me and Scott and Josh worked together at General Dynamics. It was telecommunications.
Yeah.
Like 2000, 2001. We used to have safety meetings, and this was the boss having safety meetings.
Was it? Oh,
no. It's like, and the meeting was, don't use a 4-foot ladder to climb 8 feet.
Right.
And then the rest, it was always at a bar, so we would just drink.
Okay.
12 hours, dude.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be like a Thursday, and on Friday morning, when you get Josh on the podcast, he'll tell you they sent us all home because even though we showered when we went home, we were reeking of whiskey and beer. And they sent me and Scott and JR, y'all go home. Y'all salary, y'all do not to be on this property.
Wow.
So we went back home and slept it off, man. Those are the good days back then when you could do that with your boss.
Yeah, and you could make it. You could make it happen too. Like you'd only feel like shit for a day versus like 4 days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Next day. Well, as a matter of fact, we were rehearsal that night.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all right, Rob, dude, I fucking love you. Do not go anywhere. Let's grab a beer and have a good conversation.
I'm gonna get me another beer, and
yeah,
I'm thirsty.
Let's keep fucking talking. Everybody, there will be a part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm sure with my good buddy Rob. Get everybody in here, dude. That would be fantastic. This has been the 13 with Ryan 13, Rob Alexander, or Rob Past Hell, as I like to call him, and we will see y'all on the next one.
Bye, everybody.
Later.